Hey YouTubers, Glenda here. I tried to make this video once and I uploaded it and I don't know what happened, but there wasn't any sound on it. People started emailing me, so this is me making this over again. For some reason, the videos I'm trying to make today, I guess the enemy doesn't want them out there. Anyhow, this video is actually for people that are going through their lives that you feel in your spirit that there's something else. You know that you're missing something. You don't know what that something is. I just want to tell you the story. About 20 years ago, when I was much younger and far cuter, I was kind of living the party life. My mom would try to talk to me about Jesus on the phone, and I would do everything short of hang up on her. And my sister, who's now no longer with us, would try to talk to me about Jesus, and I would do everything but hang up on her too, because I didn't want anybody to talk to me about the Jesus stuff. Everybody that I knew that was a Christian looked like their lives were really boring. They weren't having any fun, and they had all these problems, and I just didn't understand why they wanted me to go live like that. But, so anyway, my mother kept praying for me, and my sister kept praying for me. And there came a time in my life when, although nothing was really, can't really say anything was wrong, you know, per se, but I just felt empty inside, like something wasn't there that was supposed to be there. And, you know, usually we feel that and we think, okay, I'm not making enough money, I don't have the right job, I'm not in the right relationship. You think that it's something else. And so you go chase those things, you know, thinking that when you find that thing, it's going to make you happy. But sometimes you chase from one thing to another, and you accomplish each thing, and you're still not happy inside. And if you're there, or if you've lived your life, you know, out in the fast lane and you've tried everything else, which is kind of what I did. I just, you know, lived however I wanted to live because I had no reason not to. You know, so I just kind of did whatever I wanted to do. And I just wanted the party life. I don't want no Jesus. I just wanted to party. I wanted to have fun. A lot of my life had not been fun, and I was trying to make up for lost time. That seemed like the logical thing to do to me. So, anyway, my mom was praying for me, and my sister was praying for me, and I started having this feeling inside. You got to watch out when these old people pray for you, especially old Christians. I started having this feeling inside that maybe I wanted to check out the God thing. You know, maybe there was something to it. I didn't really believe there was a God. I just thought that Christians were a bunch of weak people who needed a crutch to lean on, and they just couldn't get through life without this fantasy thing that they had going about there was a God, you know. So I was there. I was agnostic, and I just didn't want anything to do with it. So one night, I'm laying in bed in Oklahoma, and I thought, well, what if there was one? And so I prayed, and I said, okay, God, I don't know if you're real. I don't really think you are. But just in case you are, if you're there, would you show me something? Would you, like, give me a sign that you're real and, you know, what I'm into is not? Because something don't feel right, and I don't really believe in you, but I don't know how else to find out. So I'm just going to throw this out there. So I went to sleep. And about 3 hours later, I wake up. In the early hours of the morning, in my little apartment in western Oklahoma, and something woke me up, some light in the room, and I opened my eyes, and on the wall beside my bed was a beautiful cross made out of light. This big cross. It's about this big, probably 3 feet or more. No, I think it was bigger than that. It's been so long. It was at least 3 foot tall. And I thought, did I leave the window blinds open? And so I went and I checked all my windows and everything in there, but there wasn't any, you know, and put my hand in front of it, you know, and all that stuff to see where it was coming from, because there wasn't any, I'd never seen it before, and I'd lived in this place for, I don't know, a year or a year and a half, or at least, if not more. And there was no place for that light to be coming in, and I couldn't block it. The next night and the next night, the cross was there. So it was there for 3 nights. On my wall, just a white cross made out of light. And I would look at the cross and go, that would seem like an answer to the prayer I prayed to the God that I doesn't believe exists, that I don't believe is really up there. But how can I explain the cross unless there's really a God and he heard me say that and he's answering? Now, I didn't really have an answer for that, but I still felt that thing inside that was kind of empty. And so I decided that I would go check out a church. So I scrounged up a skirt, which at that time was not easy because I waited tables. I was very poor. I was trying to raise 2 teenagers on waitress money, and that's really hard. And I just, I wore jeans all the time. So I got a skirt, and I found a church, and I went and I tried that church. And then I found another church, and I went and I tried that church, and I found another one, and I tried that one. And in these churches, I didn't find Jesus. I didn't find the God that I was looking for. No one talked to me. No one sat by me. No one asked me if I needed to be saved. No one asked me anything. They just pretty much ignored me. And I felt very out of place. And what comes to mind is the song by Casting Crowns. Does anybody hear her? I think is the name of it. That was kind of me at that time. And so I didn't find Jesus in the church, and I didn't find God, and I couldn't find an explanation for the cross, so I just went back to my life, which was very empty. As partying and just chasing things in the world always is, because those things can't make you happy, but I didn't know where else to go. And I went on that way for about another 3 or 4 years before, again, someone was praying for me, and God began to draw me. And that time, he sent a message to me through someone and answered a question that only he and I knew I had asked. And that day, I knew he was real. And that day, I sold out completely. And I became one of those Christians that I used to run away from. And now people run away from me, but that's okay. Because I'm really, really happy like this. And being a Christian is not about being weak. I promise you it is not about that, because a true Christian who really lives like a Christian, you're not weak. It makes you just the other way. It makes you very strong, because you have to walk in a way that people in the world don't walk. And I say in the world, I mean people that are not walking with Jesus don't walk. You have to learn to do things and be strong against things. But I made this video because I want to tell you, if you are feeling that thing in your spirit, that you know there's something else, you don't know what it is, or if your life is so messed up, you think nobody can ever fix it, and you think you've done too many bad things, or whatever, there is one that can fix it. And there is just one that can bring something really beautiful out of it. And he's just waiting for you to just give him a chance. And you don't have to go to a church to find him. And that doesn't mean that you should never go to a church. Churches are wonderful things when they're done right. But there's a lot of churches out there that are just kind of into the whole organized thing. And I personally am not, at the present time, attending a church anywhere. And I'm okay with that. Because I've tried to find a church in my local area, and I haven't found one that ministers to me. And so I just speak to God myself. And I assemble with other believers that I know are in a true walk, and I don't worry about the church house being around us. The church is made up of the people, not the building it's in. And if you're seeking Jesus, and you can't find a church that welcomes you, that talks to you when you walk through the door and asks you if you need something, then you're probably not going to find anything else you need there either. There are plenty of teachers you can listen to online, on the television, on the radio, all over the internet that actually can help you and will help you and want to reach out to you. So if you can't find it in your local church, don't give up on Jesus because of that. Don't do what I did and just, stay out there in the world, because it's not going to get you anywhere. All you have to do is just do what I did. Just pray and say, okay, I don't know if you're real, but if you are real, would you help me out? Show me that you're real. Show me personally that you are God and you want to be my God. And if you will do that, if you will just open that door, he'll do it. He'll manifest himself to you. He will do something in your life. Sometimes it's something really funny too, because he does have a sense of humor. He will do something to show you who He is. And if you will leave that door open, He will continue to communicate with you in various ways to let you know what He wants to make out of your life. And no matter how bad you think your life is, and no matter how bad you think that you've earned every chance, you haven't. He knows where there are chances that you've never even thought of. He can give you anything that you ever dreamed of and far more than that, far more. And you're talking to an ex-party girl. I mean, I'm not some chick sitting in church trying to preach to you. I am an ex-party girl. I didn't get saved until I was 36. And I would not take that life back. If you gave me millions of dollars with it, I would not trade what I have for that. And if you knew me in my past life, that would shock you. Because I didn't want any part of Christianity. But because I didn't see the real Jesus around me, I didn't realize what I was running away from. And I didn't realize that what He was offering was everything I was in the world searching for. But people package Him up and make Him look so different than He actually is that we tend to run from Him when we should be running to Him. And I just wanted to make this video to say it's not too late. It's not too late for you. It wasn't too late for me. And whatever is left of your life, if it's a day, a month, a year, 100 years, He wants to take it and make something beautiful. And He wants you to have a life that's joyful and happy and where you have peace. And you will never find all of that in the world. I don't care how much money you make, who you marry, none of that is going to take the place of Him being there with you. Because nothing can imitate Him. And He's so different than what I saw around me in the churches. And He's so different from what I saw in the Christians around me. I would have come to Him decades sooner if I had only known. So I just want you to know He is real. And if you'll let Him, He'll show you that He's real. But you have to be open to seeing it. I was open. You know, you can't sit out there with an atheist viewpoint going, there's no God, but I'm just going to, pray this prayer. No, you have to say, okay, I'm willing to see there's a God. If He's real, I'm willing to get that information from Him that He's real, and we'll take it from there. If you're not going to take an open attitude, don't bother to pray the prayer, because you've already decided what the answer is before you've prayed. You have to always pray in faith, and faith is belief. So your belief is, if there's a God, He'll communicate with you. And then you just say, okay, well, if you're real, show me you're real. And He'll do that. But I just wanted to share that story with y'all, because I don't think I've ever told any of my viewers the story about the cross of life, or how I went back out into the world, because all I found in those dry churches were dry sermons and people who didn't care that I was there. And it makes me want to cry when I think about that. As I think about how lost I was and how bound up I was in sin, and how desperately I would have thrown myself on the altar if I had only understood. If somebody had showed me Jesus, I would have given my life to Him then. But nobody showed me Jesus. So for all of you that are watching this that do know Jesus, remember, we have to show people Jesus. Because if we don't show them, they may never know Him. Because most of the churches, they're not going to find a whole lot of Him right now. Some churches, yes. But a lot of them, they're going to find a 30-minute sermonette, 3 hymns, and an announcement program. That's it. And y'all know what I'm talking about. And for anyone who doesn't know Him, if I can help you get to know Him, message me, because I will help you any way I can. God bless you.